So in today's session, we're going to handle one skill, which is how to handle the main idea questions in a few seconds. In the test. How to handle the main idea questions in any read-in passage within a few seconds. Just read the blurb. Pick the choice that covers its main elements and tone. That's it. Read the blurb so well, mark its main elements, and mark any word that can convey a certain tone, okay? Either negative or positive. That's it. That's the main thing, okay? In case you still have doubts, you may be reading the first paragraph, but usually this tip works, okay? But in case you have or you are in doubt, or you have some doubts, you're not sure about the right answer, read the first paragraph. If the first paragraph is short or isn't clear enough, you can read the introduction of each body paragraph. The introduction, perhaps the first sentence of each paragraph or the first two sentences, and that's enough. Okay, let's apply. So I told you that you need to read the blurb and identify its main elements to be able to get to the right answer for the whole main idea questions in the test. Okay, let me show you how. Here, for example, this test is from October 2020. Here we're gonna read the blurb only. The following passage is an excerpt from Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte about a young orphan girl and her experience in the household she grew up in. Okay, so let me circle the main elements. A young orphan girl, so she is a girl, and her experience in the household she grew up in. Is it clear? Let's see the question. The question is telling you which of the following statements best expresses the main idea of the passage. Definitely, most of the time, you are recommended to leave such a question till the end. After you answer the specific questions and you have a great idea about the passage. But to your surprise, the right answer can be related to the blurb and the blurb only. Okay, so let's go for the process of elimination. John Reed, no, openly expresses his dislike for the main character. I haven't read about John Reed. This is specific, as long as it's not mentioned or referred to in the blurb. The main character, yeah, perhaps she is the orphan girl, is unwelcome, negative. In the household, so how many elements so far? 1, 2, main character, household, and constantly suffers from harassment. So this is the experience. So I have 3 elements. So I'm gonna keep this now. The main character, okay, regularly seeks to engage in mischief. I haven't anything, I have only the main character. I didn't have any reference to the household. So which one has more elements related to the blurb? B so far. Letter D, the main character was harmed by John Reed. The fact that I referred to John Reed and he wasn't mentioned in the first paragraph, the blurb, will not make me choose D. So I eliminated A, C, and D. And I went for the choice that covers almost all the elements here in the blur. If you want to make sure that your answer is correct, if you are in doubt, you can be reading the first paragraph. You can be reading the first, sentences of each paragraph in case each paragraph is long. Like here, for example, John had not much affection for his mother and sisters and antipathy to me. He bullied and punished me, you see? So who is me? The author who is, the orphan girl. So she suffers in the household. Okay, let's go for another question. Okay, let's go for another main idea question that will be on page, I guess, 32. The main idea of passage 2 is 2. So let's go for. So here it's asking you about the main idea of what? The main idea of what? Let me just check. The main idea of where is it? Page 32. I want page 32. No, it's not. Just a second. Oh, 32. No? Okay, I guess yes, this one. Here, this is the question. Passage 1 is best described as. Here, passage 1, it's asking you about passage 1, the whole passage, right? So let's see. Let's read the blurb, okay? Let's read the blurb. I told you, read the blurb. Passage 1 is edited and taken from on the origin of a species by means of natural selection on the complex relationship between plants and animals. And passage 2 is edited and taken from criticisms on the origin of a species, also origin of a species by Thomas Henry, which presents a critical reading of the theory of animal adaptation. So I read the whole blurb in order to deal with the main idea questions of the first paragraph, the first passage. So here, a definition of a concept, an example of a particular method, a description of a process, a discussion on a particular theory. Which word? I will ask you guys, you can raise your hands, okay? Did you find a definition of concept or a method or a process or a theory? Which one you went for? Which one would you go for and you have seen in the blurb? Yes, Ahmed. Yes, Ahmed. Go ahead. You have a problem with the mic once more. Anyone else? What do you think in the blurb? Let me show you the blurb once more. As long as I'm being, asked about passage 1 and passage 2, then there is a certain relationship between both of them, right? So passage 1 is edited and taken from the origin of species by means of natural selection on the complex relationship between plants and animals. And passage 2 is edited and taken from criticisms on the origin of a species also, which presents a critical reading of the theory of animal adaptation. Here, You know, so we're talking about animals. Okay. Yes, now you can. Yes. Yes, Muhammad.
I think it is theory.
Yes. Yes, that's
You
right.
mentioned that.
Yes, that's right. Teacher, but the question is asking you about passage one and the word theory appeared in passage two. Yes, they are related. Now, they are talking about the same topic. The paired passages are talking about the same topic. Usually, this is the case. And so passage one is discussing you know, or discussing a particular theory, and passage two is criticizing that theory. Is it clear? That's the way we have, okay? That's the case when it comes to the paired passages. Right, back to October, we're gonna see the main idea of passage two. This is what I meant. And here I'm gonna see, this is, I'm gonna go for the blurb, okay? The first edited passage is from Birds of the Indian Hills by Douglas Dewar, which discusses Himalayan bird habitat. Passage 2, taken from Birds in Town and Village by W.H. Hudson, is about exotic birds found in Britain. Okay, my question is about the main idea of the second passage. Let's go for, we read the blurb. Did we read the blurb? Yes, we did. Okay, now we're gonna go for the process of elimination. Discuss the presence of rare birds, okay, birds are seen in England, yeah, presence found in England, and the reason for their diminishing numbers. Okay, I don't know if this is right or wrong, but I know that I've seen what presence means found, rare birds, exotic birds in England, which is Britain. Yeah, is related to Britain. So A seems to be a good answer, but this part I have no idea about. Let's see letter B. Convince the reader that despite England's bad climate, rare birds still live there. I have no such a reference. Persuade the reader of the existence of rare species that persist year-round. This is the reference to time. I have no reference to. At least I have England, presence, rare birds. Here, explain to the reader that it's often difficult to cite rare bird species in England. Oh my God, difficult to see that in England? No, this is the total opposite. Look at that. Passage 2 from Birds in Town and Village is about exotic birds, rare birds found in Britain. That's it. That's amazing. That's amazing. We got the right answer in a few seconds. Okay, right. Let's go for another question in the same test, October 2020. Okay, sorry, wait. That's, I guess, 37. Okay. Here, I have the main idea of the passage too. Let me see the passage on 36. The passage, the blurb of the passage here, this is the blurb. The followed edit passage is taken from Insectivorous Plants by Charles Darwin on leaves and temperature. Is it clear? By Insectivorous Plants by Charles Darwin on leaves and temperature. So we have a sort of plants on leaves and temperature. Okay, so let's try to think about the choices. Guys, think with me and tell me and raise your hand if you have an answer. Explore the effect of temperature on leaves. These are the main elements I found in the blur. Discover the movements of leaves when exposed to certain temperatures. So I added movements. Did you see movements here? You have seen movements? You will answer this question. Reject a proposed hypothesis on inflected leaves. I have reference to leaves, but no temperature. Also, the word reject cannot be the main idea of a scientific passage. Bolster a hypothesis on leaf movement. Again, leaf movement. So which one has more elements, guys? Can you please raise your hand and tell me which answer is to be the right one? Yes, Muhammad?
A.
A, that's it. In a few seconds. In a few seconds, that's it. That's it. It's that easy. Type. Let's go for another test. We're done with that one. This is December. We're gonna see another question. Let it be, I guess it's page 26. Let me see. 26. Okay, 26 says the main purpose of the passage is to. Here, it's the main purpose, not the main idea, but it's okay. The main purpose is related to the main idea. And that's obvious. It can be related to the, let me get to 25 to see the blurb. The blurb says, the following edited passage is taken from The Story of Germs Life by H.W. Kohn, which discusses the concept of bacterial multiplication. When you guys are given a question about the main purpose, not the main idea, you might not have the exact words in the blurb, but around them, okay? The process of elimination will be helping you a lot. So let's highlight the ones or circle the main words. The Story of Germ Life, which discusses the concept of bacterial multiplication. Okay, good. Let's go for the process of elimination. Examine the division process of bacteria under certain conditions. Bacteria, we have bacteria, but division conditions might not be the best answer. I can keep it, but might not be the best answer. Right. Argue, when I say argue, and it is a scientific passage, so it's talking about bacteria, I will eliminate it immediately. This is scientific. Its main purpose shouldn't be argue at all. Okay, it's either discuss, describe, present, anything that can be in form, but not argue. Argue has a special type of passages, which is the argumentative passages, like history ones and so on. Right. Discuss the importance of bacterial cells. Okay, bacterial, yeah, can be bacterial multiplication, of course, multiplication of the cells, but I'm not sure. I'll keep it. Present data on multiplication process. Data on multiplication process. Oh my God, where is bacteria? Yani multiplication, okay, but where is bacterial? Yani the bacteria, the main thing wasn't mentioned. Data also is very specific. Data on multiplication process, where is the main word, which is bacteria, is related to bacteria. So if I'm stuck between A and C, and perhaps D if you are tricked by multiplication, and don't forget that we're working on the main purpose, you might be going for the more general answer, which is C. طيب, if I am in doubt, يعني I'm not 100% sure, I told you what? The solution in the presentation. You can read the first paragraph. You can read the introduction of each paragraph, no problem at all. Okay, you can mark letter C or whatever letter you want, and after you answer the more specific questions, you can come back to this one, confirming your choice or denying it. Is it clear? So, for example, if we, in their method of graph, we find one of the most characteristic features. They universally have the power. They, who are they? The bacteria, maybe, of multiplication by simple division or fission. So you see division or fission. So here I have two. So if you focus on division only, this won't be the best answer. Each individual elongates and divides in the middle into two similar halves, each of which then repeats the process. This method of multiplication by simple division is the distinguishing mark which separates the bacteria from the yeast. The latter plants multiplying by a process known as budding. So here, look at that. It is this power of multiplication by division that makes bacteria agents of such significance. Type. If we go back to the question I have here, examine the division process of bacteria under certain conditions. This is very specific to a main purpose. This is a very specific thing for a main purpose. If it is very important, the division process, it would have been referred to in the blur. Is it clear? Type. I wanted to go for, no, I will eliminate B immediately for argue. Type, I wanted to go for D, no, but D has no reference to bacteria. Bacteria is referred to in the blur. So this is more general. So I will go for C. Type. Let's check another one. Another test. Here, the test from March. The following passage is an excerpt, okay? The following passage is an excerpt from The Wonderful Lamp in the Arabian Nights, edited by Kate Douglas, Wigan, and Nora A. Smith, introducing Aladdin's story, okay? Did I read anything else? I didn't read anything else. The Wonderful Lamp in the Arabian Nights, edited by whoever, introducing Aladdin's story. That's it. So I will go for the primary purpose of the passage is to, primary purpose, main purpose. Okay, the primary purpose of the passage is to scold young boys for misbehaving. Can I take that? I haven't seen that in the blurb. This is very specific. I get rid of the specific answers. Stress the importance of avoiding strangers. No reference. In the blurb, I have a reference to introducing Aladdin's story. That's it. That's it. Okay, so let's see. Set the scene. Set the scene. This is introducing. For the rest of the story, set the scene. Okay, introducing. Set, to set up or set the scene means to introduce. Type. Introduce, oh my God, like this is very nice. Introduce is written, hey, the climax of the story. The climax of the story, yani this is what, this has a negative tone, a climax, the conflict. Okay, we have in which the conflict is reaches its maximum point, right? Actually, I didn't refer to that in the blurb. And if you read the first paragraph, you will find the setting and the character. So The setting and a character cannot be introduced in the climax. The climax comes later. But the first paragraph, if it has the introduction of the character and the setting, so this is the introduction to the story, not the climax at all. The main thing cannot be the climax. Climax comes later. Is it clear, guys? What do you think? What do you think? Do you have any comments? We have, like, we answered general questions, the main purpose questions or main idea questions of the whole passages within a few seconds. We didn't even read the whole passage. We didn't need to do that. I know that I will go for the most general answer. I use the process of elimination to eliminate the specific answers, and I go for the choice that covers most of the main elements, generally the main elements that are found in the blurb. Is it clear? This was one of the skills. Now you guys, if you have any questions, you can raise your hand and ask. So far, so good. Like, you did understand? Yusuf, are you there? Yusuf Ahmed. May you raise your hand? How are you, Yusuf? Yes, Ahmed. Yusuf Ahmed, how are you?
How are you, Miss?
Alhamdulillah. Was it easy, Yusuf? Yani, did you get the point?
Yes.
Yes, it's easy. طيب. Yes, yeah, Ahmed Muhammad Khalil. Yes, dear. You can talk now. You can speak.
Yes, Miss Amin. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I don't know if I don't know, you're facing a problem with the mic.
Sometimes it's
Very low. Yeah. Can you please tell me what did you understand from what I said?
yes, I understand that I think the main idea and then making the process of elimination. And the best one.
So, yeah, if you are asked about the main idea of the passage, this means that, it's either you start by answering the specific questions and then you come back to the general idea questions that are referring to the main, I mean, that are targeting the main idea, or you can simply read the blurb. By the way, this is not always working on SAT, the paper-based one. We need to go for the specific questions in order to be confident enough to find the main idea of the whole passage. But honestly speaking, in the EST exams, we usually find the main idea of the whole passage just by reading the blurb. Most of the time, it works really well. What I can say about this method is that it can save much time. If you really want to answer the main idea question or the main purpose question, immediately, in the order usually these questions are at the beginning of, it comes at the beginning, so you can answer them in their original order. You don't have to leave them till the end. But leaving them till the end is not wrong as well. But I only wanted to introduce today a very helpful way, an easy way, a fast way to find the main idea of the whole passage just by focusing on the blurb, and it almost works in every single question. Thank you so much, guys. That was a very quick session on the run. I know that some people have other sessions right after mine. That's why I'm in a hurry. Thank you so much and stay safe and sound. Bye.
Thank you, Miss Amin.
Most welcome, dear.